Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to check out Alchemists. This is a tabletop game for 2 to 4 players. It's for ages 14 and up, and the average play time is 120 minutes. I would highly recommend that you add even more time to this. This game is quite overwhelming. I've never played it. I've read the rules like 8 times. I've even printed out help sheets. This is one of the more complicated games that I've ever played, and I have a feeling it's going to take a few games for anyone to get used to how it works. In a word, it's Clue meets alchemy. Each ingredient in this game, there's different ingredients, and here are the ingredient cards, but each ingredient in this game, and here's a list of the ingredients here. This is a player board, by the way. As they figure out stuff about these ingredients, they're going to be placing these little pieces into these circles to say, okay, this one has a minus red trait. And so on. And I'll get into more of that later. But just keep in mind that there's different ingredients in the game. Players are going to be turning in these cards to mix potions together to find out information about these different ingredients and what they could possibly be. Each ingredient has an alchemical makeup, okay? And this sort of goes in hand like this. Note the colors line up. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out, okay, what alchemical makeup is the mushroom here, and what alchemical makeup is the fern here, and so on. You're going to be Xing out some of these squares based on the information that you're getting, and trying to figure out which ingredient belongs to which alchemical makeup. And alchemical makeups are comprised of 3 different things. They're comprised of different sized circles, different colored circles, and different signs. So you'll notice, if I just move in real quick here, this mushroom could be small red minus circle, big blue minus circle, and small green plus circle. It could be that, or it could be one of these other ones here. And the information that you get throughout the game is going to eliminate these various alchemical makeups, okay? So you're trying to determine which ingredient belongs to which alchemical makeup, and each ingredient can only have one, okay? So as you're figuring this out, okay, as you're figuring this out, you're going to be publishing your results to this board up here. Each player is going to get a set of these little badges, and there's different point values. Some even have like a little question mark, which allow you to say, oh, I don't think it's that color at all. But you're going to be playing these face down, so other players won't know what you think about that particular ingredient. But it's important to publish findings to this board up here, because that helps you earn reputation. It'll also earn you these little scoring things here. You'll get gold and victory points into the game if you happen to publish results about these 3 things here. You'll earn this badge. So even if you're not correct about it, you'll still be able to publish findings here and take these tokens. Don't worry if you think your opponent is just blindly saying crap about all of these different ingredients. There are ways in the game to debunk theories and remove their tokens, and they'll actually score negative points and stuff. But I'll get into that a little bit later. So again, what you're trying to do in this game, Clue meets alchemy. You're trying to figure out the alchemical makeups of these different ingredients here through the mixing of potions and ingredients. So there's a lot of components here. I'm just going to give you an overview, and you can decide whether or not it's something that you want to get. Each player has a player board, and behind each player board is one of these sheets here. Also, your badges. You also have these voting cards, which correspond to a particular action. These are these are discount cards, meaning that when customers will show up to the shop down here, and players will be able to bid on who gets to sell their potions first to that customer. And there's reasons for doing that, but just keep in mind these are discount cards that players will play for this action down here. There are favor cards, which allow you to perform special actions. They're like helpers that give you one-time bonuses and so on. These are ingredient cards, which you'll be turning in order to mix potions together. You've got the customers are here. These cubes are your action cubes. You start with 3 at the beginning of the game in a 2-player game, and then in total you get 6 on the second round and after. So there's 3 here, and I've got, here's 3, and then I'll be getting another 3 on the second round, so will idly. But again, that will change based on the number of people playing. You've also got these artifact cards. They've got tier 1, 2, and 3, and you can see that on the back here. So basically at the beginning of the game, you're going to deal 3 for tier 1 here, and then there's 2 for tier 2 and 2 for tier 3. Throughout the game, as the rounds progress, you're going to eliminate the 1s and put the 2s in their place. Then when you get toward the end, you're going to take the 3s, put them there, and get rid of the 2s. So it's just a way of bringing new artifacts into the game. You've got these tokens here, which you'll be adding to your player board to help you keep track, like in Battleship, to help you keep track of what 2 ingredients have what solution. There's gold here. Each player starts the game with 2. There's also an app for this game. Now, if you happen to not have... The app basically allows you to mix 2 things together, and the computer will tell you what result comes out of mixing those 2 ingredients together. But there are ways around that. There is in the box, and there's a lot of components I'm not using. A, because it's a 2-player game, and B, because, let's see if I can find it. I might actually have it here. But yeah, there's a, here it is. There we go. This is the manual matrix. These pieces pop out here, and at the beginning of the game, if you don't have an app, you're going to have to find a third person that's not going to play the game to be the gatekeeper of this. And when someone mixes 2 ingredients together, they'll have to tell you what the result is. But if you don't have a third person to do that, or if you don't want to subject someone to do that for 3 hours, you can use the app instead. And the app is free to download. There's continue game, start new game, enter game code. You'll get a game code when you start a game. You write that down. If your battery happens to run out, or I think if you go onto a different smartphone, you can enter that code and continue where you left off. But let's just say that here's the game code here. So I'm just going to continue this fake game I was playing. Off camera, I've spent, I think, 2 hours trying to learn the game, try out the logic and the mixing, and it's a lot. I'm going to tell you that right now, it's a lot. So on the phone, you can debunk theories, sell potion, test on a student, and drink potion. So let's say that I wanted to test 2 ingredients out on a student, and I'll explain that in a minute. You would simply either scan them with your phone, or you can pick the ingredients manually. This is a manual selection, and if I hit confirm, it tells me what comes out of that, and I would place that blue plus where those 2 meet on my little player board. Okay, let's see if there's an options here real quick. Yep, scan with camera, confirm. All right, continue, and let's try that again. Okay, so now, let's say I take, let's see if I just scan these. I don't know if I can do it this way, but I can try. Your player boards have a little slot, but it's important that whenever you scan these that, let's see if I can, I don't think it's going to recognize this, honestly. Oh, it did. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to hit confirm. There we go. So that's that. So yeah, you can use your app to get the answers you need, or bring in a third party to do it. Okay? And as far as playing the game, it's a worker placement game, but again, it's also Clue meets Alchemy. You're going to be placing these action cubes around the board on the different slots, and then once every player has done that, you're going to resolve it in clockwise order, starting with down here and working your way up here. You're going to be resolving these different spaces. Just in a quick word, an overview. This is where you would go to collect ingredients. You can draw from the deck or from one of the face-up 5 here. This allows you to turn in ingredients that you have in your hand to get money. This one allows you to sell potions to customers by mixing 2 ingredients together from your hand, discarding them, and giving them the result. And players are going to be bidding to be the first one to do this. And on top of that, you're also going to be choosing the quality, the proposed quality of your potion. Like you're going to promise, okay, it's going to be the right color and the right sign. And I'm going to put my cube there. And that's a guarantee. If I don't do that, then I fail. Okay? There are ways around that with these cards and artifacts and whatever, but you're promising the quality. So as long as you score quality equal to or greater than what you promised, then you'll get the reward. There's 4 gold, 3 gold, 2 gold, 1 gold. If you make a 2 or 1 here, like even if you promise one of these 2 and get it, you're still going to lose reputation because no one wants a neutralized, polarized potion, which is one of these. And no one wants just one that doesn't make anything, which is nasty. So you want to make sure you're selling good quality potions here. There's artifacts here, and basically the way these work is you spend the gold in the upper left-hand corner. This is the amount of victory points you get at the end of the game, but this is what you use to purchase it, and then these are things. Some of these artifacts are one-time use, some of them are used throughout the entire game, so they just help you out in various ways. Debunking a theory, as I said earlier, you're going to be publishing results to this board here based on what you think the alchemical makeup of an ingredient is. And if you think an opponent guessed wrong or published something wrong, you can try and debunk them, and there's a way to do that in this app here. You've got the ability to test potions on your on both, like this is for testing. I'm sorry. You're testing a potion on a student. So the way that you're making them drink a potion, and that could be good or bad. If it comes out to be a negative potion, then any future potion that they drink for that turn will cost 1 gold. So if you give them a potion and it comes out to be a minus sign, okay, then they're going to charge the next person and every person after 1 gold to drink any more potions. However, you could drink the potions yourself, and in doing that, if it comes out to be positive, it's fine. If it comes out to be negative, different things happen depending on the color. If it's blue, you lose reputation. If it's green, then your marker on the order track, which determines player order, will go down to the bottom. And if you drink a red one, then one of your action cubes goes to the hospital space, which is somewhere. I think it's over here. And you won't be able to use it for the following round. So you don't want to drink a negative potion yourself. That's what these guys are for. So in a quick overview, that is the game. You're going to be trying to figure out and deducing what the alchemical makeups are of the different ingredients that are in the game. And you're going to do that in a number of different ways. You're going to be earning reputation as you go, losing reputation, earning money, spending money, and so on. So with that in mind, Idly and I are probably going to play maybe a round or two off camera to give you an idea, and then we'll come back with our final thoughts. So stay tuned. So this is just for example purposes. The game would not normally look like this. This is a player board that would normally be behind a player screen. This is a printout that I got from Board Game Geek for example purposes. I didn't feel like using the game's tinier sheets. And lastly, this is the manual matrix that a third party would use to give players answers should they not have an app. So the way that would work is just find someone that doesn't want to play the game but doesn't mind helping you out. And this is their answer key. So whenever someone in the game says, okay, what happens when I mix scorpion and flour? And this third neutral party can say, oh, it comes out to be red. And these punch out. So this is a random thing. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to randomly put these ingredients into these various slots here. And that way, the solutions will be different every single time. So this is just to give you a quick look at how the deduction part of it might work. I'm still new to the game, so just bear with me, because this actually still confuses me a little bit. Okay, so let's just say that I had my app, okay, and let's just say that this here was the solution here. We wouldn't be able to see this normally, but this is what the computer came out as the solution for this pretend game, okay? So let's say that during my turn, I decided to mix scorpion and flour, which are these two here. I punch those two ingredients into my app, and let's say the app gives me this positive red. Now, as you can see, I've already done the work here. This scorpion and blue meet up at this point, and the red token would go here. And that tells us, now, in order to get to a red plus, you would have to mix a small red circle and a big red circle that had two positive signs. So, long story short, there could not be a negative sign anywhere. So that means that we can eliminate all of the squares on these two ingredients that have a negative sign, because a negative sign would not yield this result. So again, I've already done the work here. This is a small red minus sign. This is a small red minus sign. This is a big red minus sign. And this is a big red minus sign. So I've crossed those off. The remaining available squares here are positive red, and they're either small or large. Same thing over here. This is small minus red, big minus red, and big minus red. And those squares could not combine with anything else to form this result here. So we're eliminating possibilities. These are the alchemical makeups of this ingredient, and it could not be a minus because this is a plus. So let's say on a future turn I decide, okay, well, what happens if I mix, say, scorpion and root? Well, I punch those into my app and it comes out to be neutral, or this is sort of like a polar opposite icon. Basically, that means that everything is opposite of one another, same size circle but opposite signs. So if the polar opposite of a big plus red is a big minus red, or the polar opposite of a big blue positive is a big minus blue. Again, it's a little confusing, but that's going to be true of all three signs, okay? So we need to look at this and go, okay, so now by itself, we would not be able to mark off anything, okay? If we did not know anything about scorpion or root, we would not be able to mark off anything, because there's so many polar opposites here. We wouldn't know what in particular. Like, we don't know what scorpion is. We don't know the exact sign for scorpions. We don't know what its red color, or what red sign is, or blue sign, or green sign. We don't know that. But before, we discovered that scorpion had a positive red sign. So we've eliminated 4 possibilities. So we would then go, okay, well, this is a polar opposite of this, okay? So if this is not red, then the polar opposite of this could not be the same for root. So what would happen here, we would take a look at, this is small minus red, small plus green, and big minus blue. So this one here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but this square has a small plus red, a small minus green, and a small, actually let me go ahead and zoom in so you can actually see what I'm talking about. There we go. So these two are polar opposites of one another. Note that the circles are all the same size, but they have opposite signs. So this is a small green plus, this is a small green minus, this is a big red, or small red plus, this is a minus. Even I can't see it. And this is a small red plus. So all 3 signs are polar opposites of one another. And because this cannot be red, then this is, as the polar opposite, root cannot be this, because we've already established that these guys are polar opposites of each other. And if this is not red, then this polar opposite of root cannot be red. Or cannot be root. So let's go ahead and zoom out and see what other ones we've got. I'll just scroll down, actually. Okay, so we know that this here could not belong to red. So we need to find the polar opposite of this. So we're looking for a small plus red circle. We're looking for a big... Okay, I think I found it. Okay, so it's this one here. Notice if you take a look at the signs, the circles are, they're both opposites of each other, and the circles are the same size. We've got a small blue plus, small blue minus, we've got a big green plus, big green minus, and a small red minus, and a small red plus. So they're polar opposites of each other. So we've determined that because red is not this, then root or scorpion cannot be this, then root cannot be this. And we're going to do the same thing for these other ones here. So we're looking for plus, this is a minus, this, okay, so these are polar opposites, so that cannot be this. And then this one, we're looking for, okay, this is minus, 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 all big circles. This would be plus, 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 yes. So these are polar opposites of each other, and that would be marked off as well. So by itself, the polar opposite symbol doesn't really help us. But once we determine what sign and what color something is, we can mark off the opposite of it once we determine, you know, what two items are polar opposites. Again, very confusing. I apologize, I'm not explaining it very well. But those are the kind of deductions that you're going to be doing as you're playing this game. And there's a whole slew of different information that you can gather as you're performing these various actions. So let's go back to the game, and hopefully this will all make sense as you see it in action. Okay, so here we are. Idly's off to the right. I'm on the left-hand side here. Now, keep in mind, this is our first game, and this game is rather complicated. So we may make some rules goofs. And because of the 2 to 4 hour playtime here, we're going to be doing the first round probably, and then we'll pick it up toward the last round and give you our final thoughts. We're also going to be playing a learning game. So as she has questions, I might have to look at her stuff, or she might look at mine. Whatever. We're not here to compete with each other. We're here to learn it. And hopefully this gives you some exposure to the game in the hopes that it might be something that, you know, you might be interested in playing or buying. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this going. We each start the game with 3 of these action cubes, 2 gold coins, 2 favor cards, which we have to now choose one to put away. We start the game with these 2 favor cards, which came from here. So you should have 2 of these too, hon.
Yes.
And you have to choose one to discard. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy here and keep this one. So I'll be able to play this person at some point whenever I feel like it. So I'm going to keep that and discard this one. You also start the game with 3 of these ingredients drawn from the deck over there. Each player also receives a set of these like bidding cards or discount cards. These will only be used when we're competing for a customer. If we're trying to fight for the same customer, then that's when these would be used, because this will reorder the way we are on the player board at that point in time.
Alright, I will discard this card.
Okay. Cool. Sounds like a plan.
Sure.
Okay. Get my phone ready here. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. So now we're gonna, you're the first player here. You have the first player. So you get to choose on the player order track which space you want to go in.
Okay.
So basically, the further down you go, the better the reward. However, you also run the risk of going last.
Yeah.
So you can take an immediate benefit, but also go last, or, you know, you can take less of a reward, but also be competitive for first turn.
And I'm surprised I'm blue. Usually you're blue.
No, you're red. I'm sorry. I told you. My bad. I set it up wrong. There we go.
I'm red. Okay. I will do the,
No, you're fine.
Now, if I get a favor, that's one of the cards that we just discarded.
Correct.
Does that mean we keep, do we have to discard it? Oh,
no, you keep it.
For the rest of the game.
You keep it for the rest. You keep it until you use it. Correct.
Okay.
You use it once. They're a one-time use card kind of thing.
That's interesting.
Oh, by the way, folks, this did not come with the game. This was I printed this off of Board Game Geek. A user there actually created a player aid to run down everything in a nice, neat.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome. I love the community Board Game Geek. It's amazing people. Very resourceful. I've uploaded a few sheets myself to various games, but with a complicated game like this, there definitely needed to be a player aid for this game, because the instructions are pretty thick, pretty big. So having a player aid here, definitely, you'll want to get this. If I remember, I'll put a link in the below description.
I'm going to... Now, can you play 2 favorite cards at once?
I believe so. I don't see why not.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to get 1 favor and 1 item.
Okay, so you would draw blindly from here and also get a favor card as well.
Cool.
All right, and now I'm going to go a step above you and go first. I collect 2 ingredients immediately from that. So I'm going to take 1,
Very cool.
2. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to move on to the next phase. And basically that involves, Make sure I got this right. Yep, okay. So now I get to start placing my cubes. No, I'm sorry. The person on the very bottom of the player order goes first. So you would go ahead and put your action cubes down on the board, but on the bottommost row.
So it's more like they place their cubes first, but they don't necessarily go first.
That is correct.
I see.
Because you're going last, you're giving me the advantage of seeing where you're going to go, and I could possibly go ahead of you.
Yeah.
But like if you were to go, say, here,
okay.
Even though you're putting it down first, when it comes down, like if you put a cube here, go ahead and put a cube there. Or I'll just use an example. If you did that and it was my turn to put a cube down, I could put mine here, and now when it came time to resolve stuff, it goes from top to bottom per column. So this would go, or this blue one would go, then the red one would go, then this square, then this square, then this square, then this square.
Interesting.
So I can, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Just because you're placing first doesn't mean you're going to go first.
That's cool. All right. So I'm going to actually do this.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can put your other ones down whenever you feel like it.
What does...
Now for the first turn, this one does not, you cannot place anything here. There's no customers anyway. You cannot debunk a theory and you cannot publish a theory.
Yep. Okay. And this one you can drink?
This, you can have an apprentice drink, like a student drink, or you can drink something yourself.
When do you mix potions?
You would mix a potion here, you would also mix a potion there.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If a negative potion comes out of this one, then any future potions for this turn being drunk by the student, that person has to pay 1 gold coin.
Okay.
So in an example, let's say that we had something like this. Let's say you had taken 2 actions here and I had 1.
Okay.
So let's say that I mixed 2 ingredients together. It came out to be a negative potion. Okay, I would mark that on my sheet, but from here on out, every future potion, you would have to pay 1 for this one to drink and another 1 for this one to drink. So you'd be paying 2 gold coins just to continue your actions. You don't have to. You can refuse the action, in which case they come over here to the unused square over here. So they would go over here instead. If you didn't want to take that action anymore, you can put your cubes over here.
Oh, you can actually say forget it, I don't want to do it?
Correct.
But doesn't that waste a turn or something?
Yes and no. At the end of the round, every 2 that you have here, you get to draw a favor token, or a favor card. So, yes, you're giving up your action, but if you have enough cubes over there, you can grab one of these.
And the reason why you would give up actions is because...
You may not have the money to pay for it.
Oh, I see.
That could be a reason.
I see. Interesting. And I can't place another one there, right?
You could. Yeah, you can put one here. If you wanted to.
Yeah, why not then?
Okay. That's cool.
And I'm going to... What is the sell potions action space?
That is this. Oh, you mean sell potions? That is this over here. Selling your potion to a customer that might come. And that's what this stacked deck is.
I want to use this card, but it seems like I have to...
Place 1 cube on this card. For this round, that cube is a special drink action that you may use before the sell potions action space.
Is it similar to as if I mix a drink here?
Yeah, so you could basically, let's say you weren't sure about something. Let's say that, and the reason why, because the way the order goes, it goes clockwise, the actions go this way. So the drink normally happens after selling. This allows you to drink before selling. Let's say that you committed in your action. Let's say that you wanted to sell somebody something, a particular potion, but you didn't know the correct ingredients to do it. So you can use this card to get some information about the ingredients that you have, and then you could, then you'll have more knowledge going into the making of the potion here to sell to the customer. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but
I think that's what I'm getting from it.
But I don't see like why you would guarantee something but still not know the outcome of it.
It's a risk that you take.
Ugh. Can I just use this as a drink potion?
Well, yeah, save that until yeah.
Well, what if I just don't want to sell anything? I just want to like put it down so I can make.
Well, yeah, you could do that too.
Okay.
And you would result. Yeah, so that's another way. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. But you want to do that now?
Yeah. Does that mean I can mix something?
You would play this then
before the sell potions phase,
which is around here. It would I'm just gonna put it here to remind myself. Okay. It's up to you. I mean, I don't know when the strategic way to use this really.
I don't know either, but I'm not gonna sell anything if I don't know the outcome of it.
Or you could play something here instead. I mean, instead of playing this card now, you can just land here and drink something.
But I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk my health.
No, that makes sense.
I'm just wondering.
Okay. Right. I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I think that's how that would work. So I don't think that would hurt you in any way.
I just find that card so useless. If you
maybe I'm not understanding the card the right way, but I'll house rule it to say that it doesn't affect you if it comes out to be a negative outcome.
That's what I was thinking.
That would make more sense in that I thought it would be used to figure something out before you sell to make sure that you knew what, you know what I mean?
So then, okay, so if you figure something out,
so if you use this,
to sell it? You don't have to sell it after you figure it out.
You don't have to. Well, you'd have to have 2 ingredients. Now we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I'm so confused.
No. Let's say you committed to an action to sell something.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But you were taking a risk and you didn't know what the correct ingredients were to get that particular color or whatever.
Okay.
Since this action occurs before this, you can use this to discard 2 ingredients to figure something out on your sheet that would be helpful for the making of this potion for the customer. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So when you guarantee something, you don't necessarily have to sell the potion that you just made.
Correct. No. The potion that you just made doesn't get sold to the customer here. You'd be discarding 2 ingredients to make something to act like this, but you still have to discard 2 ingredients over here to make a different potion. I know it's confusing.
Say that.
Okay.
You have to drink something first before selling?
No. In this case, okay, let's say that...
No, forget that case now. I'm so sick of that card.
Okay, all right, hold on. I understand. In this order, you would get 2 of your ingredients.
Okay.
Then we'd move on to this and now this.
Yes.
You would discard 2 ingredients. Mm-hmm. You would make a potion on your app.
Yeah.
And you would get that information and write it down.
Yeah.
That goes away. And now it comes to the customer. If I'm not here to fight you over them, and you go to make something for them, you discard 2 more ingredients to make a potion, you tap that in, and you figure out what that is. Okay? This potion does not carry over to this. Okay? This simply gives you more information to help you out over here.
Okay.
If you're not sure about something.
Okay.
You see what I mean, folks, about a confusing game? I'm just saying, So anyway, my advice: just hold on to this card for the time being.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Or if you want to use it to.
I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait then.
All right.
Just. I just didn't want to drink a potion myself.
Use the apprentice then.
So no, I'm gonna use me then.
Well, no, you can use the apprentice. That's
I don't
fine.
want him to cost me anything.
Well, actually, here's the rules about the custodian on the back here. When you play this card, place it next to the board between the transmute ingredient and the which we just did.
Okay.
It works like a drink potion action space at an earlier time. If you use 2 custodian favors, you put 2 cubes there. The second card can go to the discard pile immediately because you only need 1 to serve as the action space. If someone else has already played their custodian favor, actions taken on the space do not count against the limit of 2 drink potion actions on the usual space. You can use the custodian favor even in the final round. When it is time to perform the action, you have the option to decline it once all actions on the card have been resolved. So it's just a way to bring this action sooner.
Oh.
Is all that
without any consequences.
It doesn't say anything about consequences. It just says it works like a drink potion action space. So it doesn't say specifically, but I'm going to assume it does. But we can always house rule it too. You know what I mean? It's up to you. We can house rule it to say, again, this is casual, so...
So wait a second. So because it's going that way, right? That just means that the drink potion, this action is at an earlier time.
If you play the card, yes.
If I play the card, okay. I see.
Yes, or if you play it the way you have it, it's just going to go around and that'll occur later. Doesn't really matter at this point, honestly.
I know, it doesn't. Okay, forget it. Just
okay.
Go.
All right, so you've used all your actions.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and I have 5 ingredients. So what I may want to do is start figuring stuff out. I might put 2 cubes there, like one for one action, another one for another action, and I might decide, okay, I don't want to drink any potions yet. Alright, so maybe I'll just put one here. Okay, so now we resolve stuff. So we start from over here, work our way around. Because I'm first here, because I'm top on the order track, so I'm top on this row. So we're gonna go. It's gonna go this, 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 this. So I'm gonna take my action, and I can either draw blind or I can take one of these 5. So I'm gonna take a look at my hand here and see. What I'd like to do is maybe duplicate some of these ingredients that I have, so that I can maybe learn about the same ingredient, you know, across multiple plays. So maybe I'll take this, okay, and put this here. And this does not get refilled, though, until the end of the round. So now you get to take that action. You can draw blind, or you can take one of these 4. And you can do that twice. One for this one for this one.
I'll take this one.
Okay, the green one? I got it.
Yeah.
And do you want to take another green one, or do you want to take blind? The toad, all right. Frog, toad, whatever. Puch de mama, yes. The puch de toady. The baby of toad. What is that? Puch de mama? Anyway, Spanish. All right, so... anyway, I don't know Spanish. All right, so anyway...
This thing.
Yeah, I don't like the player boards here. They're too... They're small and they're too wobbly.
If they were double the size, it'd be so much better. But well. Okay. All
right, so what was I doing? Oh, yeah. So now we're going around this way. So now it comes to this space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard 2 ingredients. Now, she cannot see what these are. And normally I would put them in my player board to take a picture of it. But we're going to maybe play these 2 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take this picture. Actually, you know what I could do? I could maybe just type it in manually. All right, so we're going to start a new game. Base game. And this is the game code. If anyone has another iPhone or another device, they can put this code in on the top, NZKG, back at the main menu here. Enter game code, and they can play along in the same game. Otherwise, you're going to have different answer keys across multiple devices, and that would be bad. So, yeah, start new game, and we're going to test on a student, and we're going to, whoop, well, that didn't work very well. I think I have another one in my hand, so I'll just put that one instead. All right, so there's that. And again, this would normally be done on your player board. Very difficult to do in this situation. There we go. Okay.
I won't look. I mean,
that's fine. So I confirmed, and that's what it made. So 2 things happen here, okay? So, well, this is public knowledge now. But she doesn't know what ingredients I use. These are played face down into the discard pile. She does not know what ingredients I use to get that result. I'm going to go ahead and bend over and pick up this card before I forget. Okay, so one of 2 things happens. I'm going to take a green plus from this little thing here. There's a lot of little ones in here. Alright, now it's public knowledge that I've made a green plus. So I'm going to put that green plus onto my mini player board over here. That's public knowledge that I now know how to make that. Now, another thing I'm going to do is mark that on my player board. Now, I don't want to carry this over here, so I'm just going to put this down first. Okay, so I've discarded these two. So, okay, so what I'm going to do, put that here, and I might just bring the camera around to show you what I did. All right, so prepare, folks. You're going to go on for a little ride. All aboard. Okay, there we go. So we're going to come over here, and I'm going to get out of the light first off. Okay, and there's my pen. So I discarded this and this. That was the result, and now I can start doing some eliminating. I know that from these two ingredients, because it has this symbol, it cannot be, and this is going to be tough to do with one hand, but it could not be. That's not a good focus. Let's try that again. There we go. It could not be this symbol, okay, because it's that, okay? So I'm going to mark off the ones that have that minus green symbol. So this one has a minus green, this one has a minus green, this one has a minus green, and this one has a minus green. Same thing with that ingredient. She doesn't know which ingredients I use. She just knows that I'm marking off the negatives of the ingredients that I used. And that's what I've deduced from that. So now we're going to come back over here, put you guys back on the tripod. There we go. And, yep, so that was just the one, that was just my one action, though. That was just the one. Now I can play another action, because I've got two cubes there. So I might oh, that was a positive green, so he did not get sick.
Nice.
So that means I don't have to pay gold to make him drink something else. So let's say I wanted more information about this one that I've already used. That's why you try and get duplicates if you can. So let's say I discard these two and try and learn something about this. Okay. And so we're going to test on a student. We're going to scan these two things, confirm. Okay, so this was the result of those, okay? So this is a negative red potion, okay? So I will mark that on my little player board here that I know how to make a negative red potion. Now that made him sick, okay? So that means from here on out, well, it won't matter this round because no one else is doing it. But anyone else doing this action this round will have to pay a gold coin to continue drinking using that student. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here. Again, you guys are going to go on a little ride. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. And I used these two ingredients here. So, okay, so here's, okay, so it's actually kind of nice the way it worked out. Okay, so I need a negative red. Okay, and we're going to put that there. Okay, and so now we know that these two make a negative. So that means a positive red, these two things cannot be. Okay, so this is positive red. Okay, so here's positive red, so it cannot be that. This is a positive red, so it cannot be that. So now we've narrowed this ingredient down to two possible things already, which is kind of nice. And I have to do the same thing to that ingredient. Again, I can't say what it is because then she'll know and be able to do stuff. So we can't, we're going to eliminate that, we're going to eliminate that, and we're going to eliminate that. Okay. So if we can figure out the blue color or the blue sign for this ingredient, we'll basically have everything we need because it's either going to be positive or a negative. We just don't know what that color is yet. And then we'll be able to figure out what that is and then maybe publish something over here, or we can fake it and say, you know, we can maybe make an educated guess now and whatever. Maybe she can debunk us later. But yeah, so now we've done that and we're going to come back over here. Okay. So that was the drink potion step. And now it comes to you. So now you will
experiment on myself.
You will experiment on yourself. So yeah, lucky you. So now you would take two ingredients for that. Let me see them. I'm going to click on drink potion here.
Okay.
Now if you want to scan them, go ahead.
I shall scan.
Okay. Did it work?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You're laughing. Negative green, that's not good. Okay, that means you're going last.
Yeah.
So your turn order thing comes down here for you for the next turn.
Okay.
But now you know that those two ingredients make that. So you're going to want, you know how to make this now. That's public knowledge.
Okay.
And now we need to find another green one. And these little plastic things actually came with the game, which is kind of cool.
Does it matter if it's a small or a big?
It doesn't matter if it's small or big, no. The small and big circles come into play when you're trying to sell a particular color to a customer.
I see. Okay.
So you're going to put that green circle at the intersection of those two ingredients.
Yep.
And then you're going to mark off all the positive green ones on those two ingredients.
Yep.
Whatever they were.
Yep. I'm sorry, I'm almost done.
No, take your time.
The greens and blues look very similar.
Yeah, they do.
I already messed up.
Did you scribble through them?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I believe that's the end of the first round. At the end of the round, what we're going to do is let me get back our tokens, our action cubes here. Actually, you're red, right? Yeah, you're red. I keep giving myself the red ones. Now we get the other 3 action cubes. And you should have 6. I have 6. Good. Okay, next up, Top Alchemist Award. The player with the most badges, or, when you're submitting proposals or supporting someone else, you're going to count the number of these little badges that you have on that board. Whoever has the most gets a reputation. That's not the case here because no one has that. Unused cubes, no one has that. Hospital, no one has that. New adventurer, so now a new adventurer will come into play over here. This one gets flipped over, so now we can see what the next customer after him is going to want. And, oh, by the way, you're going to be seeding this deck of adventurers, customers, with these conference tiles, and whenever they come up, this didn't happen yet, it'll come up after this next round, but when this comes up, they go up here, and they get resolved after this drink potion step. And basically this says, if you have a published theory over here, if you have at least 1 badge, you get a reputation. If you don't have anything up here, then you lose a reputation. So this game is saying you better have a theory about something by now, otherwise you're going to lose reputation. That's not this turn though. That's coming up in another round or 2. Mm-hmm. So that's what that conference tile is all about. Next up, refresh ingredients in vials. So these go away. And I'm just going to put these over here. And we're going to put 5 new ones out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And discard all, replace all ingredients. Okay, and so the turn order, I'm just going to put myself there. You're there because you're sick.
Yeah.
And, yeah, cough, cough. Pass the starting player token to the left. And end of round 1. Yep, end of round 5. Okay, that's it. So that was the end of the first round. And we're going to continue doing this for about 5 or 6 more rounds. At the 6th round, this board is going to come out and cover this area here. I think. Something like this. And it's going to cover a certain number of spaces that I have to look at. But it's going to take the place of a couple of these spaces, and players will be able to take actions on this location to say, okay, I'm going to make this particular potion, this red plus or this red minus, or this green plus, green minus. And if they do it by discarding the right ingredients, they get reputation. If they manage to do for both colors, then they get additional reputation as a bonus. If they don't, then they lose reputation. So this is a way of earning bonus reputation at the end of the game by proving your knowledge. You're proving that you know how to do stuff. Me, I know how to do 2 things already, so if I can manage to do that by round 6, then I'll get some extra reputation, assuming I've got the right ingredients to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is turn the camera off. Idly and I are going to spend about, I don't know, 2 hours doing this. So we'll get back to you when we're further in and are ready to finish the game up. So stay tuned. And welcome back to the final round. We placed all of our cubes. There's an extra green one here because I played the assistant, which gives me an extra action for this turn. Okay, so she was the starting player, so I put my cubes down, then I put my cubes down, and now you get to go first. Basically, you discard one ingredient to get a gold coin. Cool. And you get a gold for that. And I get to do that now. So I'm going to go ahead and just discard one that I don't need. Probably this one. I don't think I need that one. So I'm going to discard that, and I'm going to take your gold. All right, there we go. And you get to do the same thing again with your other action here. That costs 2 actions to do that. So basically, you're trying to earn the gold that you need to buy one of these artifacts, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Okay, so... and next up is the artifact buying. So...
I'm going to spend 4 on the second one. Yeah, because I have my card.
Oh, the discount. Okay.
1 gold less.
Good job. So it's when scoring artifacts, this is worth 2 points for each artifact you own, including this one. You got 4 artifacts.
4, 6, 8.
That's 8 points, but that'll be for the end of the game.
Yeah, okay.
So you spent your money there. I'm going to spend money on... Now, how am I going to do this? I can either spend 4 and get 4 points, or I can spend 1 plus 1 through 8 to get... that many victory points. So if I spend 1 here to buy it, and then I could spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I need any money for the end of the game? Like, what do I need? If I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to keep at least 1 gold coin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this altar of gold for the 1, and then I'm going to spend 6 more to get 6 victory points. So I'm going to move up 6 on the track here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is worth nothing at the end of the game, but this was necessary for me to move up the track. Okay, so next I'm going to debunk a theory. And there was a reason why I'm debunking my own theory. I was trying to trap you. I was hoping that you would put... Because I noticed that you've been following me on a lot of my theories.
Yes.
So I faked a theory in the hopes that you would follow me on it. You didn't do it. So I'm going to debunk my own theory. Flip this over. Now, I knew that this plus red was not it. So I hedged against red. According to my sheet, I knew that it wasn't red.
Yep.
So that's what I hedged against, so that if I was ever proved wrong... okay, so it would be... final round. Debunk theory, I'm going to choose... It was mushroom, and it was the red color. It's a minus sign. Yep. So I was correct. I knew that going in. That's why I picked plus for that. I was hoping that you would put some points on that, and then you would lose. But didn't happen. But I do get 2 points for debunking my own theory. For debunking the theory successfully.
And that was the sneaky thing that you were referring to, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. So this goes away. This goes away. And by the way, when you debunk a theory, these badges get removed for the rest of the game.
Okay.
So that goes back in there.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't lose any points, though, because I was successful. I didn't put any points on it. I questioned red, and I was correct on that. Next is publishing a theory. I'm going to, I believe, support your toad theory. Okay. So I'm going to just do this. I pay... I can't do that, can I?
Why?
Because I have to pay 1 to the bank and pay you 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 point away from me. That's 1 gold less I spent on my artifact. Okay. And pay the bank 1 and then pay you your 1. Sure. So I lose 1 from the altar of gold. I just earned less for it.
I understand.
And I'm going to put... I miscalculated my math. Okay, so that goes there. And because I support that theory. And I also get a reputation for putting that there in the first place. Plus, I now have 3 of these ingredients that I need for this grant.
Yep.
So I'm going to take this grant and put myself here. No, do I earn that now? No, later. Okay, I do get 2 gold for that. So that goes here. All right, next up is the exhibition. So now you get to publish, or you get to mix 2 things together in the hopes of guessing right here.
Okay.
So
I have to mix 2 things, right?
yeah, you just like mixing a potion. So exhibit potion. So you're gonna say, okay, what potion are you like?
Minus green.
Minus green. Okay, so you're gonna put one on minus green.
Oh yeah.
And whether or not you're successful determines whether or not you go up to the check green or down here.
Yeah.
So you're going to mix that. Okay, so now you scan the ingredients that you have. And you prove basically that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it is a check mark, meaning that she proved with the ingredients she has. Those get discarded as normal. So this goes up here. Only one person can earn that mastery of that sign. However, you can still try for those spots because if you get if you get the positive and negative, if you get a cube in both of those columns, then you've mastered that complete color and you get 2 extra reputation for it. So now I get to do one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to exhibit potion. I'm going to go for the plus red. And let me just make sure I've got that right. I had a method to my madness here. Okay, so I think it was, yeah, it was these 2? Yes, it was these 2. So let's see if it'll do it from here. If not, then... Yep, okay, so successful. Oh, by the way, because of my... which one do you want me to discard? Because of my...
Right.
The right one. Okay, fine. This goes away. All right, I had these from before. It's fine.
I meant my right, but whatever.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter at this point.
No.
So my blue cube goes on the green one there. Okay, so now the next one... Did I do the right one? What did I do? Oh, no, I took this one. It should be this one. There we go. All right, so now this red cube resolves. So what color do you want to go after now? Did we earn the reputation for this?
I don't know.
1 up, 1 up. Okay.
Plus green.
Okay, plus green. Okay, so you're going to try and master the green color.
Mm-hmm.
If you get this right, you get 1 victory point or 1 reputation plus 2 more for mastering that color.
Oh, okay, so that's 3 in total.
Yep. So minus green. So
I said plus green.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Plus green.
Cancel. Exhibit. Plus green. There you go.
Thank you.
And then I'll set myself up for the next one, which is... Got it? Mm-hmm. Check mark. Good job. Okay. Woo! So you get a reputation. Up by 1.
And then 2 more for mastering?
And 2 more for mastering. So you're tied with me now.
Nice.
Cool. Next, I have to resolve one of mine. I'm going to resolve these 2. Yeah, and the dog is moaning, as usual. Alright, let's see if it'll take it with just now. Okay, wait. It's very picky. I think it needs the edges of the cards to be red, too. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Alright. So that means I've got this and mastered that color, so I get 3 points there. So that's 1, 2, 3.
Good job.
Okay. So this goes away. Oh, wait, pick 1 to discard.
Left.
This one?
Yes.
Because my left is different from your left. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Fine. Okay, so there's that. I get to resolve another one. Now, you've already mastered all the green, so let's see if I have enough to make the positive blue that I've already made at some point. So there's...
Oh my gosh, you have so many ingredient cards.
I do. Well, actually, did I keep...
Pretty sure you can make anything at this point.
I could make that and that. Okay. So I know that I'm going to go with positive blue. And I'm not going to go with any of the greens because you've already scored a reputation for each of those. So I want to try and maximize my points. So I'm going to go with that. Make sure I got that right. Okay. Confirm. There we go. So that is a correct answer. And pick one to discard.
Whatever, that one.
Sure. It doesn't really matter at this point, probably. So this goes here, and I get one reputation. Okay. So, and this is the special board that only comes out during the last run. I think that's everything. So now we look to see what the final scores would be.
And this counts end to end?
Yes, it will. Just right now. So convert all reputation to victory points. So we're doing that now. Score victory points for artifacts. I've got one measly point for my magic mortar. My altar of gold does not have anything. Yours, you've got, let's start with the 1 plus 2, that's 3. And then 1, 2, 3, plus 8 for the one that you had. So 29 plus 8 is 37. Look at you go. That's going to win you right there, I think.
No, you have a bunch of badges.
We'll see. Receive 2 gold per favor card that are left over.
Oh, I have none.
I have none either. 1 victory point per 3 gold. No, I have 2, you have 1. Reveal alchemicals and check all theories. Okay, so we're going to reveal the answers now. Show answers. Oops. Really show answers? Okay, so these were the answers, and I'll...
Is that the theories here?
Yes. Okay. So now we have to compare each one of these. Okay, so starting with Scorpion, small red plus green. So this is correct. So we flip these over. We each get 5 points in copycat. Okay, so you were on 37, right? Yeah. So you go up to 42. I go to 36. Next one, and my battery is almost dead here. Next one is the frog. The frog said plus, minus, plus, and the frog here is correct. Okay, so we flip these over. 5 and 3. So you get 5. 42 is up to 47, and I get 3 up to 39. Next is the feather. Feather is minus, okay, that's correct. So we flip these over, 5 and 3. Okay, so now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. You're maintaining a lead. The flower, plus, plus, minus, that is correct. I score 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Your red one down here scores, let's see, that was Fern, the green one. Plus, that is correct. So you get 3 points. So that is, you actually warped the board. You're at 53.
Cool.
What next? So we were basically all correct on everything that we guessed.
Yeah.
Next we score... okay, it's, oh, we have to check the grants. I forgot about that. So the grants that we had in our scoreboard. I had 3 and you had 2. Right, so I get 1, 2, 50, and you're up to... Okay, so you win 55 to 50.
Really? We don't count, like, the extra ingredients we have?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
No, you won the game.
Thank you.
Good job. Artifact, that did it.
While you were thinking, I was thinking about all the possible ways I can maximize my points. And this one, when you pointed out, like the money selling and stuff, I was like, you know what? If I bought this one, this would grant me 8 points compared to the 7 points or 6 points I would have gotten if I put all my points into everything else.
That was good thinking on your part.
Oh, it was pain.
So what did you think? I mean, this was my answer key here. Wow. Okay, that's good. Oh, I knew everything except for 3 colors. I didn't know about mushroom. I didn't know about fern. I didn't know about the claw.
You didn't know about the mushroom, even though you bid on it?
Remember, I bid the fake.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, that's right.
I knew all of my correct, like the ones that were left. all negative.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I put something positive on there, but bid against the positive. Because I knew that would, at least I knew that would be right.
Once I figured out what all of them were, I stopped caring about gathering ingredients and started going like up here.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And you know, the first ingredient that I found out was the scorpion, because I was deducing your stuff. I saw you pick scorpion, and I'm like, you know what? Anytime you got something, let me try and, you know.
I see.
I was gonna actually bid on scorpion first, and then you did it, and so then.
This was my player board, for the record. This is what I had.
Let me see.
Oh, well, I lost some of it.
I only had this.
Wow, that's still good though. Most of my right side was covered. Like, yeah.
Nice.
All right, so what did you think overall? I've got 4 minutes of battery left.
Oh, sorry.
No. What did you think?
I liked it a lot. It was great. It was. The more I played it, the more I liked it, honestly.
Good. Mm-hmm. It's overwhelming at first, and if I come back to this game in the future, I'm going to have to rewatch a video or something to figure out how to play it. But honestly, I love it. It's Clue and Alchemy together. And I love the deduction, the logic, and figuring stuff out, the bluffing mechanics up here, the artifacts, everything about this game I love.
It's really cool.
It is.
I do like it.
So yeah, if you're looking for a new complicated game, this is involved, I will say that. So, and it helps to have the app too. So if you don't have a phone, if you live in the dark ages, you can still play online. There's a website you can go to that takes the place of the app. But there's also that manual matrix that you can have another party do if you can't do any electronic stuff. But overall, love the art, love the deduction. The only thing that I have a complaint about are these shields. They're just flimsy, and well, not flimsy so as much as they don't fit together right. They're very loose. They come apart very easily.
They're way too small.
And too small. But because there's too much to hide. Other than that, this game is absolutely brilliant. So with that being said, this is Vincent Ida Lee. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.